that it was over. Just beginning.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally?
Come on. Cowboy Nation, the name is Law Nation. Let's continue to grind and shine. We'll give you guys information around the NFL. Of course, we got to start with the Dallas Cowboys. We're going to break this down the best way possible. Thank those who follow the channel. Thank those who support the channel. Thank those who be out there at the training camp site and hit me up on multiple ways. Appreciate you guys. Shout out to the other content creators that hit me up too. Let's continue to grind, to shine, baby. Yup. They really say ain't no party like a cowboy party. Come on. I know practice was soft today. It's Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday. But neither here nor there. Cowboys Day 9 training camp recap Q&As plus Anthony Barr contenders. Come on. Mama said there'll be days just like this. Appreciate you guys so much for jumping in and being part of this revelation. Come on. Let's get it. As the room fill up, be sure sharing is caring. Share this content, share it all around the globe and beyond the ice wall. Appreciate you guys so much. Come on. All right. Hey, ho. Let's get it. Let's go. Yup. Shout out to the Cowboys Experience. Be sure to check us out there too. Come on. Like I said, the name is Law Nation. Come on. All right. All right, Cowboy Nation. Let's talk about this. Really appreciate you guys so much for tuning in and being part of this episode. Solo Dolo today. I really appreciate you guys. It seems like it's been forever since I got a chance to talk to you guys independently, but I'm here now, and let me know, thumbs up if the audio is straight. I got one more day out here, and then I go back to the beautiful state of Texas. You know, the weather is nice out here, but I need to get back, right? I need to take care of some things back at the home state, and I really, at this point, believe it or not, can't wait to get back to my functionalities back at home. But in the meantime, let me break this down. So basically, it's not the NFL's, it's not the Cowboys' fault. It's the NFL's fault on how practices are being held. Who remember the CBA? Who knows what the CBA is? Before we go into that. And then we're going to listen to some audio, too, of Anthony Barr as well as Kellen Moore from 105.3 The Fan. But who remember the CBA? Can somebody break down what CBA means? And then I'm going to go into more details and more information about that. This is truly not the Cowboys' plan. This is not. It's not the way the practices are being held, the way the practices are being run, and you got people from the outside looking in. There you go, Melvin. I wanted somebody to put that out there. Collective bargaining agreement. Collective bargaining agreement. So what happened with the CBA, the NFL versus the players, pretty much the players union, they wanted to have an extra game. They wanted to have an extra game, and we do know that there's money involved with the extra game. But when you have an extra game, when you have an extra game, there are consequences and repercussions, right? More injuries, right? And the players are looking at it like, hey, if we're going to play this extra game, we don't want to be privy to more injuries. You can't just throw this upon us, right? We need to have something in return. So the NFL said we'll take away a preseason game, and that wasn't enough. The players banging on the table saying we practiced too hard. You know, we got long sustainable injuries that's coming from these practices. And they said, well, what we'll do is we will monitor practices. We will make sure that your money is a little bit better guaranteed. We will also allow you to smoke a plant. You can still get collective bonehead agreement. Yeah, you're right, Asmodeus, and that's what basically it is. So what they did was they said, okay, we will monitor practice. You can't have more than 3 days consecutively with pads, right? So you can only be in pads for so many padded practices. You can only practice for so long or a length of time. There will be no more. We'll take away 2 days, right? So that you can be more involved and in tune with the football schedule. We know it's long. And then on top of that, we will allow certain things to happen. But what we're going to do is the things that we are not going to allow, give the owner some more power, is for you guys to hold out. Have you noticed who's holding out now? Manny said he loved plants. Shout out to you, DCB. Appreciate you, Dallas Cowboys for life. Appreciate you. How about them Cowboys? You're listening to nothing but the best. Appreciate your time and the videos and the info that you give out. How about them Cowboys? Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you so much. I think that still work over here. And also, before we go a little bit further, talking about these type of things, let's pause for a quick second.
Let the Cowboys Experience introduce you to a whole new way to enjoy a Cowboys football weekend. Experience the ultimate Cowboys player and fan event at Toyota Music Factory on the Texas Lottery Plaza, making lasting memories by booking at cowboysexperience.com today.
No doubt. Call that number 817-888-1726 and you will be in the mix and we will have some good stuff for you guys. Appreciate you guys so much. And especially those who want to get loud, right? And want to go to the game and showcase your passion for the game. Come on out to Cowboys Experience. We will have at least one current player there at these events. And then on top of that, we will have probably a Hall of Famer there. Just come on out to the event. And I promise you guys we will have a fantastic time. But one thing I can tell you guys, the collective bargaining agreement made this NFL across the league soft, not just the Cowboys. All right, and another thing, when we was talking about practice, not the game, we was talking about practice in general, when we was talking about how things look a certain way, right, and how we want things to be cordial in a different capacity. And a lot of people, I was reading some comments saying, oh, man, the sky is falling, the DBs, they can't cover. The DBs, oh my gosh, they're trash, Law. Well, on that competition part of it, I want to tell you guys this right here. There was no scheme involved. There was no pressure to the quarterback. There's no safety over the top. And that's how it goes. Coach Marv, shout out to you for the $2. He said, I understand, but we don't do enough in the padded practice. Everything is scripted by the NFL. They have to have certain routines that's approved of the NFL. I've spoken to someone that's higher up. This drill, they have to submit it to the NFL, and they get the approvals from the NFL. Everything is sent up to the higher up. So the NFL is in so much control, Coach Marv, that these guys are only able to do the drills that's approved by the NFL, and if they do anything outside that guideline, they will be fined. That's the modern day world. That's the modern day world. Even if you look at the aspect of school teaching, right? That they got a syllabus, a course curriculum that they got to go by. They can't go anything outside of that. Or if not, the school will not get their fundings. There are certain schools, public schools now, that have to bend to the rules because they are granted government money, that they have to bend to the rules and say, hey, instead of male restroom, female restroom, they got to have a joint restroom because of the rules. That's crazy, huh? Coach Barr, that's just how it is. We live in a society now that if certain jobs, if they don't call you they, him, you can actually sue the company that you work for because you say, I don't want to be identified as him. I want to be identified as they. This is the world we live in, Cowboy Nation. And I hate to bring this about, but that's just how it goes, unfortunately. But when we look at practice, we talking about practice in general. The Cowboys have to adhere to these rulings. And if you know that there are multiple NFL higher-ups that's watching and making sure, okay, this is special team drill, you better not have 3 on there. You better not have 3 jamming them. You better only have 2. If not, there's a flag, there's a fine. And I wish I was lying to kick it to you guys, but I'm not. No, I'm not. But individually, they can do things like this, and they can talk to each other and have these type of movements and say, okay, coach, let's get these guys together right here. And when we look at it, of course, strike the inside, move inside, redirect, get in there, watch the feet, the drops, post leg. Yeah, all of those things we look at as it relates to the Dallas Cowboys. Now, on the flip side, Cowboy Nation, do you want to test, dare I say, the NFL and say, okay, we're going to push it up a little bit? You know what happened? When you push it a little bit, and injuries occur, or injured player occur, then there's the principal office. There's the principal office. When you say, okay, well, why are you going 7 versus 9? We only predeem that you guys can do 7 versus 7 in this hour. We only predeem that you guys can go 11 versus 11 in this time slot. It get that petty with the Dallas Cowboys. But neither here nor there, and that's what's just told to me. And I don't think that officials were trying to lie to kick it, but that's the information that I gathered from him. All right, so neither here nor there. Let's listen to some of the audio of my guy, number 51 now. He's going to wear number 51. His name is Anthony Barr. Got 2 ABs on the team.
Fit for you, and you think this is where you wanted to come?
Yeah, obviously I got some connections with George Edwards. Being in Minnesota, we got real close while I was out there, and we had some good success. I've heard nothing but great things about DQ, how he operates, and I think Dallas is a contender, and I want to be on a team that I feel I have a chance to win. I want the opportunity to play at a high level, and I'm excited to be here.
You know what the role is yet? Has it been delineated for you?
I have an idea. I think as I get going, as camp gets rolling on here, I have a better idea. But it's there.
Can you guys hear audio? Let me know if the audio is straight on your end. Let me know. That's Anthony Barr. Was he out of pocket, yes or no, saying that this team is a contender? What makes a team a contender, by the way, Cowboy Nation? This is Anthony Barr choices. He had a chance to go to the Denver Broncos. He had a chance to go to another team. I forgot the name of that team, but he selected the Dallas Cowboys. Is he wrong for saying that this particular team is a contender? What makes you a contender? What makes you a contender? Let me pause the highlight right here as we look at my guy, number 3. What makes you a contender? I want to read your comments here. You guys can hear. So what makes you a contender? Is it your mind? Is it the skill set that's on the field? Is it the quarterback? You know, is it regardless? As long as you got the quarterback, you are a contender. What makes a contender, Cowboy Nation? Let me read some of you guys' comments here. Autry says, no, how was he out of pocket? Yeah, no, how was he out of pocket? Is he out of pocket? No. So, yes, great. I love that. Leadership, Allen from Alec Richardson. Appreciate you. You like Turpin, Big Mike? Yeah, he's really good. Real recognized, real. Shout out to you, MVP, baby. About to say MVP, but you MVP, VIP. Youth, the roster, okay, on paper, right? Let's get ready to rumble. Culture, okay? Ultra Cowboy, my guy, culture. Mindset, right? It's all in the mind. Let's listen to more of my guy, Anthony Barr. Let's listen to him as he set the bar. I think we're going to have so many bars here. Come on. Uh-oh, wrong button. Here we go.
At a time, a lot of new information, a lot of new faces, trying to process all that and, trying to be the best I can be for this team.
How do you think you fit with Micah Parsons and the things he does?
I'm just trying to continue to help unlock his game and, allow him to be the best player he can be. Obviously, he's had a great start last year. Pretty amazing what he was able to accomplish. And I think he could just continue to elevate and take it to the next level. And I'm hoping to be able to be a tool, a resource to him, and also learn from him and learn from all the guys. So I come in humble and ready to learn.
Come in humble.
Starting on PUP, what's your time frame as far as working into practice?
Yeah, obviously it's been a while since I've been on the field. 7-8 months. Didn't have a chance to go through OTAs, so just acclimation period. I feel great. Body feels great. Just about getting up to speed mentally. I think more so than physically, and then once I feel good there, hit the ground running.
How do you think your versatile traits can be used by Dan Quinn?
Obviously he had a lot of success in Atlanta and Seattle with some pretty big name players. So I'm just really willing to do whatever I'm asked to do to go out there and help the team get victories. So I think I'm a smart player, capable player, and I'm sure he'll find certain ways to use me.
The Cowboys showed interest in you before the draft. You remember those conversations and how much they were involved with you?
Man, that was a long time ago. I remember going on one of my visits. I think DeMarcus I was with him on one of the visits. Conversations I don't really remember. That's a long time ago, but again, excited to be here.
Okay. What is
No doubt. It's a great conversation by Anthony Barr on his thoughts of the team, reaching out to him when he was drafted, what have you. Here's the thing, though, Cowboy Nation. Here's the thing. My guy, Jay Versick, says Barr knew that AFC West is too loaded. Got to beat up against the Giants and the Eagles and Washington. You're right, Jay Versick. Yeah. But AFC is kind of loaded, but it is what it is. Let me talk to you guys about this. Oh, look at that. Right? Oh, let me just rewind this one right here. I got to rewind this one. Watch how fast. Now, this is a good route right here by Fargo. He got to cut it inside. That's 4-3 versus 4-3. That's 4-3 versus 4-3. And the thing is, what Kevontae Turpin got that I love, that I absolutely love, is his ability to get the separation. And his quickness off the route is so quick because he's 155 pounds. But look at that. You can probably put a Cadillac between those two. His separation off the line is so quick because you got to ask yourself, you want to jam him, right? You want to jam him, but then if you miss, that's points the other way, right? Now, pay attention to the ball placement, though, because he had him. He's already looking back for the ball. And Anthony Brown, like, please, come on, man. Help me out, quarterback. Help me out. He tried to track the ball. But if it was out and up unto the outside shoulder, this would be a tub, man. Come on, baby. He had to slow down to go grab this one. But and AB has great recovery speed to knock that one down. But I absolutely love Kevontae Turpin. He was one of the shining guys individually out there. And then, of course, C.D. Lamb. Look, you can put a Lincoln Continental between those two, and he was able to burn my guy Trayvon Diggs. Now, before you guys crucify Trayvon Diggs, keep in mind, normally your DB will have a safety over the top, just like even if Kevontae Turpin really burned Anthony Brown, there would have been a safety there over the top. But what I'm trying to do, I'm going to get the camera back on me. Let me get the camera back on me so you guys can understand what I'm trying to say here. What I want to do is take that safety that's over the top to roll coverage that way. Right? I want him to roll coverage Kevontae Turpin way. I want my DB that's guarding Kevontae, if that's the situation, to play off a little bit. And now I can start working my underneath drag routes with concepts with my other wide receivers. I can also run the ball those ways. There are multiple ways that you can utilize a player with speed that can take the top off the defense, right? Now, I do know that this was really before my time, but who remember Bullet Bob? Somebody in the chat, who remember him, right? Who remember Bullet Bob Hayes, right? It's way before my time, but who remember him? And let me know how fast and how dangerous he was. He fooled around, and he was the first Tyreek Hill. He was better than Tyreek Hill, by the way. And Bullet, they had to create defenses because of him. They had to really create defenses. You know, I don't – who's really faster than him, right? Come on, baby. Let me put the thing back on and let's listen to. I'm going to read some of your comments before I hit the audio of Anthony Barr. Track star. Yeah, Diggs is fine, but that stutter step, it got him. Look, if I'm trying to beat Diggs, I'm stuttering stepping. I'm getting up there. Part of the DB's mindset is playing with leverage, understanding your leverage too. So if you know that you got backside help or contain, then you know for sure you can be a little bit more aggressive, right? And my style of defense with Trayvon Diggs is I truly don't want Trayvon Diggs on quick, shifty wide receivers anyhow, right? Tyreek versus Bullet Bob would be interesting. Yeah, and think about it. You know, Bullet Bob, back in those days, you had to go get side jobs. You had to go get other things because football wasn't your only source of income during those time frames. So it was crazy. No, Jackson ran a 4.240. Yeah, Bo Jackson was just different, man. I classify him in prime in a whole different era. I'm only talking about wide receivers. But if you can talk about Bo like that in that capacity, yeah, Bo was dope. Turbo Turbin, yeah. Low key, Herschel Walker was that dude. He was that dude for a minute. Bo Rats. Pro ran a 4.19. I feel you, man. Let's listen to these guys, man. Let's wrap it down.
What's meant to you in your career?
Man, he's been a great resource, a great friend, very patient, understanding, very knowledgeable. And he's been helpful both on and off the field. Good family man, someone I look up to and admire, and happy to be working with him again.
Is it strange wearing a different uniform after being in the same one for so long?
Yeah, it is.
That's a good question.
It feels good. You know, the guys have been very welcoming. Staff's been great. Obviously, the fans are second to none. So just happy to be here and earn my role.
What were your impressions of this defense from the outside, looking at it last year, what they did, and kind of the transformation they made from where they were before?
Yeah, just very aggressive, downhill defense, ball hawking defense, and the guys play for one another. I think it's the thing that stands out on tape. You know, they play hard and they care about one another, and you know, I think that says a lot about the culture and the locker room, and obviously starts at the top. So I think I'll be able to kind of fit in and transition pretty easily.
Why did you choose number 51?
I don't know if this will be permanent. You know, it's kind of all that they have left at the time. You know, we got a lot of bodies. I'm the last one here, so I got the last pick. But we'll see if things change as camp goes on, as players come in and out. If I like it, I'll keep it, you know, but I don't know if this is permanent just yet.
How much did you?
Man, 51 look good on you, fam. You know, 51 on Anthony Barr looks pretty good. Ooh, Noah Brown got my guy Nashawn on that play. But 51, man, what number, if you guys big on numbers, right? Man, my guy Brandon Smith just burnt him. I don't care what number that is. but this was the deal. What number do you guys like Anthony Barr to have, you know? And these sorts of things, because, you know, it is what it is with numbers, but I think 51 looked dope on him. This was the 11 versus 11 day before yesterday. Yeah, so this is a different angle of the 11 versus 11. I really appreciate everybody. 52 looked good on him. 55, that's LVE. 56 is actually Dante Fowler's number. Now, I think 56 ain't going anywhere. 42, that'd probably be good on him. 52 look good, too. 52 is a linebacker. That would be nice. 50 is a classic number. Appreciate you, Stewart. But 50 is a number by Devin Harper, and I don't think Harper is changing. Give it up, LVE. This is Manning. I would like to see 44 or 94. 94 belongs to a guy by the name of Brunson on our team. You picked him up. So I probably need to do an assessment on him, but I'll wait till I get back. But neither here nor there. Let's listen to the rest of this interview.
Did you talk to George when you were away before you signed here?
A good amount. Yeah, we had some good conversations, and they were frequent. You know, he's not one to go over the top and blow your phone up like that, but you know, I was welcoming and accepting of the conversations, and it made him feel a little more comfortable making a decision.
So he does a soft sales pitch.
Yeah, that works.
You said you came in for the visit in the kind of early in the spring?
No, that was 2014.
Oh,
yeah, so years ago.
So it was kind of talked about that you might have been interested in the Cowboys. Why did it happen now, maybe previously?
Man, I think just timing's everything. You know, I can't tell you any no rhyme or reason to it. It was just the right time for both parties, and you know, so hopefully it's a good marriage, and I'm looking forward to, like I said, being here.
So that was the end of that interview. Be sure to check out the full interview on Cowboys.com or on the Cowboys YouTube page under Dallas Cowboys, and then you will see them with the verified check mark there. Check them out, Cowboys.com, for the full Anthony Barr video there. I would tell you guys, before we dive into the offense talk, I'm going to tell you guys that in this particular interview, I picked up a few things. That he's humble and he knows George Edwards. He said that George Edwards not the type of guy that's brash, talks a lot, cool, calm demeanor. So those things going into a new environment are always welcoming, right? You got to always have somebody who's even keel, not too high, not too low. And that's what he broke down of our guy, not LVE, but George Edwards. All right, so let's talk about this right here. I was listening to 105.3 The Fan, and my guy, I believe Jay Versick, sent me a clip or excerpt of 105.3 The Fan via Instagram. He said, good interview. Check it out, basically. And this was the interview of Kellen Moore. And when we listen to this interview, I want you guys not to not to bash 105 for the softball questionings there, because they can't go at the neck of Kellen Moore, because you got to understand that this is a station that pretty much Jerry Jones owned, and you want to have repeat customers, basically. You want to have repeat coaches to come back to be comfortable enough to talk, right? So in this interview, you could argue that it was little, leading as they was trying to guide him to things, but I'm going to play some of it, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts of it. But ultimately, the pieces that I took away from it is, let's be real, Kellen Moore just don't have the experience. Let's listen to these guys.
How many new plays do you come into a season with? Like, do you come in with like, hey, I got 20 new plays I just created, or is that even possible with everything that the league has already seen and that you already incorporated it?
I think there's not a whole lot of like 100% new plays. Usually it's variations to different things. I think from our standpoint, you're probably playing with personnel and just the presentation of plays. Plays are plays, but yeah, there's always going to be a little change throughout each offseason, and so I don't know what the percentage is. I'd be a really bad guess at that. Somewhere in that 20%. There's always 20 to 30% probably change each offseason, just because you're going to change personnel and you're going to change different styles.
How hard is it in the second half of the year to give different looks or continue to do different things that defenses haven't seen in the second half of a season?
Second half of the season, I think you're probably trying to run things that play off of stuff that you ran earlier in the season. The balancing act, I think, for us is, as the season progresses, we practice less, and it becomes more jog through, and just because of the physical wear and tear of a season. And so you're always balancing out how much variation you can present and stuff. And so you're trying to build off of that. And then this is obviously a big aspect of training camp, so that you can fall back on some stuff that, hey, we want to give it a shot, we want to try something, we may like it, and it may not show up until later in the year, but we want to at least give ourselves some different presentations, some different looks that we can use as the season progresses.
I've heard, Coach, Bill. I'm old enough to know when Bill Parcells was here, and he would say, like, they don't really call it. There's no really such thing as a bad play. It's like bad execution. Is that a philosophy that still works in the league?
It's a great question. I think biased from my vantage point. I mean, you're gonna call plays, and you're gonna watch it, and you're gonna say, "Oh, that was a really dumb call." It looked a lot better, Monday through Saturday. But that happens. Obviously, I totally understand that. But you're always looking at it from your vantage point. How can I improve? How can I get better? And so certainly that pops through your mind plenty.
So when you call a play, like, do you know, based on just the look the defense has given you after you've called it, like, oh man, we're screwed. Like, we caught this ain't gonna work right now.
There's a few times that it's really a odds assessment. Sometimes you watch a thing kind of as it develops, and you're like, the odds are probably decreasing as we look at this thing. But sometimes guys make plays, and that's part of football.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you guys this: what's the difference between a concept of a play versus calling a play? Can you have a concept, right? Like, do you really need the play, or do you need the concept of a play? What's the difference between strategy versus a scheme? Your strategy may be, okay, I'm going to spread it out. I'm going to keep it 4 wides, right? But if you have the understanding of, okay, Paul says variations, appreciate you. All right. And if you say, okay, my scheme is to make it appear that it is a 4 wide, but my scheme is to actually to run it, right? Or if you have the head scratcher, yes, my guy Asmodeus, yeah. Shout out to you, Big D's. Appreciate you guys so much for jumping in. Confidence, my guy, VIP. Okay. I feel you on that. Man, boy, we getting it going. Sadiq, well, thank you for the $5 support super chat. Says, get these likes up in the chat room. We are over 300 watching and only 98 likes. My gosh. Law, if you were in the offensive meeting room, would you believe Law and Kellen plan? I wouldn't know if I believe in his plan, but I would want to know his plan. I would want to know, okay, what is the concept? I want to know what is the scheme. What are we trying to do? And this is basically what I'm trying to break down. Like, as an offense of the Dallas Cowboys, the number one offense in yards, the number one offense in points. But what will be the actual scheme? What are we trying to do? Are we coming in here to establish the run, or are we coming in here to throw the ball all over the field? Of course, ultimately, we want to win, right? But what is your overall concept? Are we a power I team, pro set team, pro style team? Are we a shoot team? Are we a vertical passing team? Are we West Coast, spread the ball underneath type of team? What is the actual concept? Let's go balance. That's what my guy Lucky Park said on Facebook. Multifaceted. And my guy Paul. All right. So now that we know these things, it shouldn't matter. See, they asked him on the second half of the year, are there things that you're doing differently? It shouldn't matter that what you do different, because your concept should stay the same. Your scheme should be still the same. Like, we understand, like we know that when we played against the 49ers, you got to stop the run. Their concept, their scheme is to run the ball, right? It's not to throw it all over the field. But I believe heavily that our team, our concept, our structure is to throw the ball.
What do you say, Kellen, to those that are concerned about the loss of offensive personnel? You lose your number one in Amari. You lose your right tackle. You're throwing in rookies. Wide receiver depth is now an issue. What's your response to some of those worries from Cowboy fans?
No, I think this is kind of the evolution of football seasons. When you go over the course of year after year, there's always different times where you lose guys, unfortunate, guys that you love that were a part of this thing and did some special things. And now it's other guys' opportunities to take advantage of these things. I mean, we got guys who we brought in here that we were really excited about, certainly in the receiver.
Oh, my guy, Batman Forever. Oh, my gosh, man. You took what I was trying to say, man. Get out of my head, man. Get out of my head.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Yes, indeed. No, it was Dre. It was Dre-matic. Oh, my gosh. I gave credit to the wrong person, but let's listen to it again.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Dre says scheme is your plan based on your identity. Your concepts forms your scheme. My goodness, man. Oh, my goodness, man. I really, really love the way you broke that down, man. You took what I wanted to say, man.
This is Sparta!
They came in here for a reason. Now they get their chance. There's plenty of, not highly drafted guys that have become guys in this league. Cowboys have had plenty throughout the years, and so there's great examples of guys who, when they do get this opportunity, they go for it and they take advantage of it.
Where have you seen the most improvement from CD with maybe whatever he chose to focus on in his offseason?
I think the mental side is obviously really, really awesome to watch. Just that evolution, being that third year where yeah, he kind of lines up wherever we need him to line up. He can play all three spots. He can handle all the different volume associated with that, and then you can just tell the confidence, the leadership. He's it sounds funny. He's the third year, but he's kind of one of the veterans of that group. And
yeah,
so
the other day he goes, "I like my young guys out here." We're like, what? What did you say?
Yeah.
Kelly, we spent a lot of last season, end of last year, off season, talking about I'm not saying forcing it to one guy, but like highlighting a certain player or individual. Amari talked about this last year, and you see it on other teams a little bit. Is that when you're trying to make sure that one guy is that more on the quarterback or like the play design, like where the ball is supposed to go?
Ooh, all right. Since we're doing verses, I love y'all so much, man. Let's type in this. System versus scheme. We do know that we have a system. Oh, I love when we talk deep. We have a system. The Cowboys love to throw the ball all around the field, right? Number one, we get massive amounts of yards. We get tons and tons of opportunities as it relates to some of the things that we do on a collective grand scale, right? So here's the definition of a system. A system is a collection of organized things. For example, solar system. While a scheme is a systematic plan of future actions, meaning that a combination of things connected is adjusted by the design of the system. A plan of theory or a theory on something that need to be done. Ooh, baby. Oh, when I tell you guys, we dropping deep into this system versus scheme. Okay, all right, so I got some more for you guys. Write this one down. A system is the overall thing, a core element you're looking to have and or implement, right? You're trying to implement a system. It sometimes helps that your business is run through a certain process. But a process are things that you do in order to make a given system work. So that's system versus process, right? So, oh my goodness, boy, we breaking this thing down like a mathematic equation. So I truly believe that Kellen Moore mastered these things in his youth. He mastered a system, right? And let me see if I can put this in I'm going to put this definition grouping into the chat so that you guys can understand what we're saying right here. Appreciate you guys. Bam. And I know it may cut off on some of you guys. So when we contextualize all of these things, the Cowboys have a great system. They have a system that can gain a lot of yards. They got a system that can give you points if all of the processing are in place, right? Meaning that if A player is healthy, if B player is healthy, we can get this thing going. However, we don't have the scheme because the scheme is designed for future actions, meaning that when you see player line up in the X slot, right, or the Y slot, and he runs a certain concept, it is to take away a certain look. So therefore, when you line up differently, bam, I can hit you with the run, baby. Ooh wee. But the only way you can get to this level, Cowboy Nation, believe it or not, is through good old experience. And we're going to listen to more what Kellen Moore have to say about this because I love it when we break this down.
I don't think you ever want to tell the quarterback where to throw it. I think you get yourself into some tricky situations there. There's times where, I think most of that should come on the play design, if you're trying to get it to a certain guy. And so that's something that I'm always learning and growing from. I think there are different opportunities where you can try and focus on a guy.
Quarterback or like the play design, like where the ball is supposed to go.
He said that's something that he's always learning and growing from. Let's listen to more because what people want Kellen Moore to do is skip the learning and growing from. He just lamented that I'm learning and growing from developing a scheme to target said one individual. Man, this is so crazy. I come here to tell y'all beautiful people that's listening. When Deebo Samuel last year started to run the ball with the 49ers, it wasn't until week 10. Why? Because of their running back was banged up, and they needed to work their scheme in order to win games. And it's quite strange to me that all of a sudden that team got hot. Why? Because they made the adjustments. They made the necessary adjustments to say, okay, you got Deebo. He dropped the ball 12 times this year. Oh, excuse me. He had four fumbles, by the way. He's a dynamic wide receiver, but we got to focus on who is the catalyst of this offense. It's not Brandon Ayuk. It's not the Jennings kid, and it's not Mohamed Sanu. It is Deebo. So they had to develop a scheme because their concept was already there. Their system was already there to run the ball. But the 49ers, had to develop a scheme around Deebo. Boy, they did execute too. That's another part of the equation there. Big D's, they did execute. They executed. That's another part of a scheme that you have. Look, let me put the camera on me. Because I want to tell you guys so much. That you can have a system in place. You can have a process in place. You can have actually a scheme in place, right? You can have all of the things that I'm talking about right now. But if you don't draw it up for one thing to execute, it will not happen. Also, if your system, scheme, plan, process is wrong, then it won't mean a hill of beans. Law, do you have any truth to that? I can draw up a scheme, system, plan, process, procedure for Shaquille O'Neal to shoot the three. He's wide open. My scheme can have it that every time he's wide open. Would his percentage be great because he's open? No, because he don't have the skill set to do things. Look, I kid you guys not. It goes all the way down to the quarterback. If your quarterback is not a West Coast style quarterback, newsflash, it will not work. But if your quarterback is built to be in a vertical spread offense, it will work. So that goes to even you got to scheme in order to fit your quarterback. Are you guys feeling what I'm saying? So scheme, process, system, it all works with what you got too. And on top of that, just like what my guy, the playmaker, said in the playoffs, if teams are understanding what you're trying to do, and they say, okay, on our defense, our scheme is to take away Amari Cooper. And on our defense is also to take away CeeDee Lamb and dog it. If you using Dalton Schultz to win, we would give you that. You playing it to our hand because we looking at it like this, Cowboy Nation. I would rather, look, I'm just using this as casually. I would rather for Dalton Schultz to kill us versus Amari Cooper. I would take out Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb, and I would give you Schultz. I would give you the underneath. I would give you, yes, you see where I'm going with this? I would give you Shaq to shoot the three. I would give you the opportunities to have Shaq to shoot the three. If Shaq is your scheme, if Shaq is your system, if Shaquille O'Neal, I'm only using Shaquille O'Neal, I'm just picking on him because I know he can't shoot the three. I can flip it the other way. If Steph Curry, I'm using basketball references for you guys. if I develop a scheme to be the inverse, for Steph Curry not to shoot the three, and for him to only play down low in the post, and if he's killing us down low in the post, I would rather for us to lose that way versus him killing us on the perimeter. Meaning that even though he may be open, he is less deadly inside versus outside. There are people who's looking at Steph Curry and said, hey, man, this dude is horrible. If the coach only designed to play the scheme, the system, in the rudiments of their team to play him down low, because why? He's out of position. Boy, boy, we can get into this thing deeply, baby. Cowboys Sports Report by Charles in Charge. Shout out to you for the donation. Sorry to cut in, Law. A few days ago, you said you get on one of my videos. Here's some soon to help one case up. Did you need my email or communication? Look, let's do this. I've been extremely busy. Let's do this next week. Hit me up, jump into my Twitter DM, and I would definitely figure out a time to jump in with you on your video. And we all want to get you to 1K, most certainly. That's a good scheme right there. I'm just playing with you, man. But yeah, that's a good way. So that's a good strategy, by the way. So jump into my Twitter DM, go to my Twitter page, and shoot me your time frames, and we'll jump on with that. Appreciate you. Man, you dissecting this thing like a science teacher. Appreciate you, Asmodeus. Let's go back to this, baby. Let's go back to this. Let's listen to this.
I don't think you ever want to tell the quarterback where to throw it. I think you get yourself into some tricky situations there. There's times where, I think most of that should come on the play design, if you're trying to get it to a certain guy. And so that's something that I'm always learning and growing from. I think there are different opportunities where you can try and focus on a guy, and we're trying to continue to grow in that realm. But, at different times, there's certain plays that, hey, just let it play itself out. I think that's the best part of playing quarterback is just trust your progressions, trust where your eyes tell you, trust what you're seeing from the defense. Get it to guys, and then as the season goes, as game goes, if we need to focus on a target or give a guy an opportunity, we just got to do it probably within the play design just to give that guy maybe the primary route and those sorts of things.
So let's just say it's Schultz, and you're like, I want to force feed Schultz here a little bit. You just have a list of plays where he's the first read. Is that how it works? Versus you're not going to tell Dak, throw it to Schultz, but he's going to be the first option. Is that how you get someone going or keep force feeding them?
Certainly, I think that's the ideal route.
Yeah.
I don't think you ever want to throw it in the quarterback's head because they can play a particular coverage that puts Schultz in maybe a less optimistic situation, and so you always have those different plays in your back pocket for certain players, and provided if you need to kind of get a guy going, you can hop into those calls.
I want you to
shout out to Blue Virus, man, that's in the chat, man. I really appreciate you so much, man. He's been rocking with me out here in Oxnard for these last few days here, man. I really appreciate him. I just made him a mod. Blue Virus, man. Y'all give him a round of applause. He says, what's going on, Law? Appreciate you, Blue, man. Appreciate you so much. That was a good question by 105.3 The Fan. They said, hey, let's say if we try to force feed Dalton Schultz, do you tell the quarterback to throw it to him? All right, so the best way to say this is in basketball. I got to go back to my basketball reference, right? There are some freestyle moments, right? The basketball players say ISO, ISO. And when he says ISO, everyone spread out. They know that the player's trying to get one-on-one looks, and he's trying to defeat the either zone look or he's trying to defeat the back man. So what he's saying is ISO, so that everybody can spread out so that he can take the ball to the rack. And if you look at it, most star players demand for the ball. I go all the way back to Kobe when he won his championship with of course, Shaq, or even with MJ when he scored that shot on Russell in the playoff or in the championship there. So you got to give your star players the ball, basically. Now, sometimes there are moments and opportunities for others to shine, but ultimately, your coach got to have a set of plays that can really give your playmakers the ball. I can't recall a time, even in the 90s, where they said, nah, you know what? We're not finna give Emmett the ball. Emmett still to this day got 19 touchdowns. No one came close to his touchdown record throughout the playoffs, and that's running the ball. So I just want to tell people, you have to develop and craft up a scheme so that your star players can get the ball. And if Emmett couldn't do it, of course, it was the playmaker. And, of course, if the playmaker and Emmett couldn't get it done, then Troy would figure out ways to pull the rabbit out of the hat. You got to be able to make plays. And even on the defensive side of the coin, there's somebody that got to stand tall and get things done. But let's listen to more of Kellen Moore and his growth talk.
Address and hopefully erase this theory that was out there from last year when we were comparing Dak's first half to the second half. The Denver blueprint, the Bronco blueprint that, Vic Fangio is throwing something at you guys you had never seen before. And I'm not trying to take it back to last year, but we're trying to figure out moving forward, was Dak confused by something defensively? Was that something foreign that the league had not thrown at you guys? What's your response to that?
Every game presents different looks, and I think Vic and those guys in Denver, I thought they did a phenomenal job with us. They played us very aggressive, and I think we missed some opportunities early and kind of got behind, and just kind of were playing catch up the whole game. And so I think that's something that I think Mike's talked about a lot is just handling those things when you start a game well and get a lead and stay ahead. I think the mojo, the momentum, it carries through, and you just keep rolling. And so we got to find a way to, be able to handle those times where, you miss a couple fourth downs early in the game, you face a little adversity. And so, just spending more time normalizing that, talking about it a lot more, putting ourselves in some of those situations.
All right, so in that Denver's game, the Cowboys had 2 opportunities to score early. The defense really did a good job in the first 2 series there. I want you guys, and I encourage you guys to go back and look at it. It wasn't until the Denver Broncos realized, you guys are weak. You guys are weak on stopping the run. And they started to run the ball, and it took the life forces away from the Cowboys. If you go back and watch that game, if you really want to burn your eyes, it's like pouring alcohol down your eyelids there.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally?
You see, and if you really, really want to pour that alcohol in the eye, you'll go back and watch that tape, and you will say to yourself, man, the Cowboys got trigger happy. They had 2 opportunities. If you go back and you watch it, my guy Tony Pollard flipped the field on the first possession. He got all the way down. He was all the way to the 40. Got to the 35. They went from there. Dak Prescott had a short field. Dak Prescott, he needed to hit one of those wide receivers. But they went 4 and out. They didn't want to kick the field goal. Turnovers on down. The defense held the Denver Broncos, right? And the Cowboys went marching all the way down the field again, and they went 4 and out. They got to the other half of the field and went 4 and out again. And my thing is, that right there really peed off the Broncos, and then they never looked back since. It was the final score before halftime, I believe, was like 30-0. But when you do those type of things, these type of situations and moments happen. You empowered the opposing team. You gave them hope. They thought going into the game that they really didn't have a chance all the way. But they saw life when they saw the offense, and you can't do that. You can't give power away. And my friends, Cowboy Nation, the Dallas Cowboys, if you're going to be the baddest guy, you're going to be the bully, you got to continue to be the bully even when you get hit. You do. There's multiple times that when you look at the game, you would say, when will the Cowboys continue to be the bullies, right? I think we did it against the teams that we are common with, all of the teams in the NFC East, but we need to start doing it against unfamiliar opponents. If you want to be that bad guy, you got to be that. You can't halfway be it, right? Come on, Cowboy Nation. Y'all feel what I'm saying, right? Nobody, look, 3 teams I'm going to bring up, and I'm not even talking about the 90s. I'm talking about the 2000 Ravens, right? Or was it the 01 Buccaneers? Both of those teams. I keep getting those 2 teams confused, by the way. Those teams, you know what you're going to have to face. You know that it's going to be a long physical fight, right? It wasn't not going to be no finesse looking, right? Y'all correct the team for me now in the chat. You knew when you played against the LOB that defense, they wasn't playing around with it. They wasn't halfway bully. When you have confidence, extreme confidence, it don't matter who you try to talk to. You'll walk up and give them a conversation, right? It don't matter who is in the presence with you. Look, there's vibrations that your body give off. And when you enter a room, people will know that you are a high vibrational person. They can feel it. Your body is magnet. Your body is magnetized. And if the Cowboys have doubts going into a game, we know it. A third of you guys know it. I know for sure. Some of you guys that's watched the Cowboys closely for the last 27 years know that, hey, this team is about to lose before they even start playing after that first series. You can literally say it and you're not being negative because you can feel the vibrational energy collectively of the team. But there are some games that you sit there and say, oh, I know for sure the Cowboys ain't going to lose this game. You talk Donkey Kong size stuff when that team plays. And that in the last 27 years, I kid you not, there's only been a spoonful of games we felt like that. Why? You want to know why? Because you can tell from the coaching staff and how they prepare mentally. Come on, baby. Y'all know what I'm telling y'all the truth. Come on, man.
Because inevitably you will have that during the NFL season.
But you're not concerned about some copycat blueprint that, was going to throw Dak off or that you guys are having a harder time solving.
Oh, let me just bring this point. And I know I'm keep stopping it on you guys because they talking about some stuff that I don't really want to entertain, but we're going to entertain it in a few. We absolutely knew from the vibrational energy that when D-Law said, it was a couple years back, we was fighting, we were going to play against the Saints, and he said we're going to punch him in the mouth. It's been forever. It's been forever and a day since we had someone to say those type of things, and regardless of how the game came out, we knew. We knew that the Cowboys was going to win that game. And the Cowboys balled out. I forgot which year it was. I forgot. Man, God dog, man, these bots, man. Get those bots up out of here, man. But we knew. Like when D-Law opened his mouth about that, shoot, we win in that game. But I believe over the course of the years, the temperament been so docile that we really don't have people to speak boldly on this team about what we're going to do to the opposition. It was 2018. Appreciate you. Man, come on, baby. We knew, but that was the last time, sure, we had anybody to proclaim something before it was even there, because we normally fold like docile animals, man. We the sheep sometimes. We need to be the lion. And that's why we listened to Parsons when he said he's the Terminator and he started talking about every week there's a quarterback on his hit list. We can feel the energy that young kid had or have. And one thing I can tell you, let me put the camera back on me. The way the media try to pull apart and poke at this team and give us those embarrassing thoughts and moments to go back because the enemy is crafty. The enemy can only use your past against you. He can't talk about your future, right? And we hear storylines after storyline, accident waiting to happen. The Cowboys ain't going to do this. The Cowboys ain't going to do that. Just wait. But that negative energy falls upon one fan that tells his other fan that tells another fan, and before you know it, it's about 50 people that have doubts about this team. They go into a game, and then that 50 negative people feelings go over to another 50 people, and by the time you look up on Sunday, that negative force is on the players' back of their mindset, subliminal. It's there. Oh, man, a fumble about to happen, a negative play about to happen, blah, 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 blah. And the Cowboys look like what's on the bottom of most people's feet. But I come here to tell you, man, positive reinforcement, positive energy, positive thoughts can take and move an entire nation. I'm telling you guys, but I don't want to get too deep on the metaphysical parts of it. But let's listen to this.
You've seen everything, right?
Yeah, I think you see a lot of different things, and that's the beauty, I think, of an NFL season is we'll go through a bunch of cycles throughout the year that, there'll be something that'll challenge you. And we always say, like, hey, if someone hits you with something in week 1, you're going to see it in week 2. And then if you don't address it, it's going to be week 3. Yeah. And then there's, eventually you address it, and then there becomes a new task. And so I think there's this back and forth battle between offenses and defenses, and it's an evolution. I mean, you can watch it. It's a copycat league, but it's also an evolution league of addressing issues. And once you address it, then someone will find the next move to do.
But there's still a styles make fights kind of element, right?
Yeah, certainly.
Styles make fights.
Kellen Moore sitting down with us on the Fan. Why are you confident in the run game being even better than at points in times in the second half? Again, we talk about first half versus second half, and the numbers are there. Why are you confident in the run game being better than some portions of last year where it fell off?
No, I think obviously our running backs, I think coming into this thing healthy. I think they obviously dealt with a lot last year, and so I think hopefully the stability can stabilize in the offensive line situation. I think we had a lot of different lineups there. And so from a personnel standpoint, I think we're really, really excited about that. And then, you're always going through the scheme evolution. You're always making little adjustments that I think we're really, really excited about as far as just finding a nice, clean identity there that we can run the football consistently.
What's jumped out about Tyler Smith so far?
Nastiness.
Physicality.
Yeah, it's good stuff right there, man. Oh, my goodness, man. Oh, my goodness, man. Let me find my drop. Where my Mr. Nasty time at? Oh, my goodness, man. Where you at? It's somewhere around here. If I can't find it within a few seconds, baby, it's shame on me. I don't even have my shame button. Next year, I'm going to have my shame button. Oh, my gosh. Where's my It's Mr. Nasty time. Where we at? Yeah, here we go.
It's Mr. Nasty time.
Yeah.
I think he's really physical. And I think the really cool part is how much he's working at this thing. And, he's in those meetings all the time with Jeff and Joe, getting extra time with those guys, spending time with them. And so, there's obviously always a huge learning curve for guys coming from college to the NFL, just in the volume of different things that you have to deal with and prepare for. And so, I think he's doing an awesome job.
At what stage of camp can you tell about an offensive lineman?
Really, I think these first couple days of pads, they kind of get settled in, and then kind of starting yesterday and leading in the rest of the way, these padded days. Those first 2 days, we always laugh about, the pads are too high, and everyone's kind of it kind of feels a little bit like a mosh pit half the time in all the run plays. And so it's the first day they've done pads in, however, 6 months, 8 months, whatever it is. And so now you start seeing those guys settle in, get more comfortable with the pads, and now you're starting to see it more and more.
Zeke versus Pollard is a topic that will not go away ever. And, Zeke has gone from fan favorite to now we focus on his contract and the cap hit. What are we still missing or disrespecting, Kellen, about Zeke's game?
Zeke does a lot of things, and I think that's the awesome thing. I think one thing that's critical is pass protection for those guys. Running backs are just as involved with it as offensive line and handling all the different looks that NFL defenses present to you. Zeke's really, really smart in that realm. He does a really good job with it. We love both of those guys. We want to use, when one guy's obviously needs to be on the sideline for, he needs a blow. The other guy's in there, and then in the middle of that, when we have opportunities to put them both on the field, we're really, really excited about that.
He ain't lying.
All right, so that was a good observation from Coach there. He doing a wonderful job with this interview. You really can't poke holes at what he's saying so far outside of admitting that, hey, I need to work on and growing and learning from experience, basically, on focusing in on one person. Sometimes it's easier to run your system out there versus developing a scheme. A scheme is more is heavier than trying to develop that system or process that you normally go through. But neither here nor there. We can't dog the man on that because we all absolutely know that it's going to take growing pains. Like third year ever calling plays last season, you expecting him to be on a certain level of thinking. No, it's just not going to happen that way. Especially when you're devising a system against someone who's been doing this for 12, 13, 14, 15 years, on the opposite side, or on the opposite side, even from the offensive aspect of it. So NFL is not as easy as people or most people think it is. But neither here nor there. Great interview altogether from Kellen Moore.
All right. You're a quarterback by nature, dominating in college. The Micah question. Choppy wants him just to be a defensive end. The value, the sack numbers, pressure on the quarterback. Dan Quinn and everyone else, he's going to do both. As a quarterback, would you rather him line up in one position in order to know where he always is, or is it tougher switching back and forth?
No, the versatility is really key. Really for the presentation and the protections. It makes it really hard on offenses just to account
versus
for
knowing
him.
He's coming after you every play. I mean, he could come after you, I guess, at linebacker too.
Yeah, because he can still come against you at linebacker, and now you're compromised in the position of how to protect it. Are you leaving a running back on him one-on-one? Are you going to account for him with the offensive line? And so now you're putting yourself into some compromising, challenging positions because if you count for him in the pass protection, now you're potentially putting your running back on a bigger body. And so it's definitely a conflict that's really, really good for our defense.
I'm going to ask you the question that all the drafted players get with all your head coaching interview experience. Did you get a crazy question? I'm not going to ask from who. Did you get something that threw you off and you're like, you were preparing, but you couldn't anticipate a question that one of these owners or teams asked when you were sitting down for the interviews?
That's a great question. I do not know.
That was the end of that interview. Let me share the link to 105.3 The Fan. To all of the beautiful people that's watching, click that link there. Give them credit. This is not my interview. That's theirs. Be sure to watch Sean and RJ. They out there at the Oxnard facility, and give them a shout, and support and follow them. I always try to give back to all that do these type of content creations in this space. At this time, you guys would like for me to keep going, let me know. We can do just that. We can keep it moving. We can keep it rolling, Cowboy Nation. And we can start talking about the Cowboys in general. And I do love all what we discussed today on a larger scale. The phone lines are open. Give me 1 second. My computer want to freeze up on me. My phone lines are open, so give me a shout if you guys want to have a dialogue with me. The phone lines are open. One of my mods, if you can, put the phone number in the chat there so that I can pin it. I don't even know my number by heart. My computer just erased my number, by the way. Y'all bear with me. Let me see if I can find this number. Appreciate everybody that's tuning in. I know my mods gonna come through and help me out with that number though. I know they know the number. I don't even know the number. That's crazy. And I got the phone lines open. Shout out to you, DP Johnson. Appreciate you. Somebody called. Look, the person that called, let me know what my number is so I can get you in, so I get other people in. But D Shift, man, what's good, man? What's my phone number, man?
Hey, y'all, look, it's 657
657
390 7391.
Yeah, appreciate you. See,
I ain't gonna
man,
lie,
see how
Rob.
we work together, man?
If I had to get that for $1 million, I might be able to get it, bro.
Yeah, most certainly.
Right now, I give you $1 million if you give me Law Nation's number. Depending on who asking, Law, I ain't just gonna roll over on you like that, bro.
Don't roll over on me, man. Don't roll over on me like that. But what you been up to, man, D?
Nah, man, this interview had me kind of hoping that you would do a show tonight, man.
Okay.
Really just off the cusp of the fact that, man, your boy Kellen Moore said he's still trying to grow.
He still, at least he was honest.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really fault him because there's times that, I mean, we see the arrogance from this organization, and you have some people kind of just kind of want to scoff back, but yeah, he was honest. He said, man, I got to grow to being able to be that to be able to basically drop a scheme and let like a CD Lamb dominate.
Yeah, basically.
So that he don't know how to do it. So that's why he just try to, I don't know, get guys open and spread it out and see where he can put the ball, and I don't know if our QB1 can kind of assist him in that,
The worst thing ever to Dak Prescott is having someone who's trying to learn himself, right? I would love for to have Dak Prescott to be behind like a guy that been here for 15, 20 years, right?
Well, what Dak could have done if he could have had like Sean McVay from year one.
Yeah.
Best drill out here, one-on-one.
That would have been too
Dallas,
man. That would have been too much like right, basically, if he would have had something like that. And my only thing is the Cowboys had to know this too, right? They had to be cognitive and cerebral enough to know that, hey, this guy's going through growing pains. We can't expect the world, right?
Yeah, I don't know if they got something in Kellen, you know what I mean? Like, it's obvious there's something that's intriguing about him. But I think in a minute though, it's gonna wear thin, because I mean it's just too many guys coming up around Kellen to just kind of waste Dak Prescott like this, and what you got, and just I still believe you got a legitimate core. I was listening to you and Mark talk earlier, and Boyard talking to you couldn't give y'all 3-4 teams,
You couldn't.
I mean, he barely had a case for the fact that the other teams are the contenders, as if these other teams don't have concerns of their own. But
for context for the people that's watching, what my guy D Schiff is saying is the Cowboys basically name me the powerhouse teams in the NFC, not just the East, of course, but the NFC. Outside of the Rams, you got to put the Cowboys up there, right? Buccaneers.
I mean, I can say that if you do your research on I did my research on the Packers defense a little bit more.
Yep.
I could say that the Packers defense is going to be kind of strong. But then there's also the thing of is their offense strong enough? You got them 2 running backs. 2 running backs, nice. But I mean, Cowboys definitely on that 3 spot because the Bucks they're old at their positions, skilled players. I heard them say Mike Evans, but how much longer Mike Evans going to keep going? He's kind of an injury guy too. Am I right?
Yeah, so that's why they covering him with Julio because now week 1, where are you going to put Diggs? Is it going to be on
Tennessee
Evans?
let him go and they lost A.J. Brown?
True that. Yeah. But my only thing is Tom Brady is a whole lot better than Tannehill, though.
Yeah. No, I know. No, big respect to Tom Brady and just his mind.
His mind.
But physically, like I said, man, I still remember. Like I was telling you the other day, I still remember 2019. I think that. Yeah, last year's in New England.
Yeah.
When Bill didn't want to go get him no receivers.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he didn't recruit Antonio Brown for no reason. He ain't put his name on the line, and his legacy on the line to try to recruit this dude that was was breaking down and flaming before our eyes, you know.
Man, big facts on that, man.
I mean, I Tampa has some resources. They pull some guys in, and one thing about Brady, he can recruit, you know. And I mean, you know, guys want to play with him for a reason.
People want to play with him.
No reason. You can't just scoff at the guy no more.
Man, if I was in the NFL, hey, man, I'm trying to go over there with Brady, man. He got 7 of them, man. He just figure out ways, man.
Yeah. But I don't fear Brady. You know what I'm saying? Not like we did when, you know, remember when the T.O. game. You remember that game?
My God.
T.O. and Randy Moss was going back and forth. But, man, I threw this idea out to Vach. I'm glad I thought about the old game. I threw this idea out to Vach. But, man, you'd be perfect, man. You ever thought about doing reaction videos to, like, old games?
Like how will I do it? Like have the picture somewhere down below?
Well, you know, I mean, you got people who make all kind of reaction videos, right? They make reaction videos on music videos, comedy sketches and all that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Law Nation with the voice taking us back in the time machine and teaching us our history, you know?
You know what I want to do though? This season I'm gonna kick it off and I dibble dab a little bit with it. Is to do the reaction for all NFL teams, like game reaction. Cool. But I'm gonna put it on the 2.0 page. I'm gonna put it on the 2.0 page, man. And we're gonna. I'm gonna do it this year, man. It's just gonna be me reacting.
Hey,
I'm gonna be extra with it too. But real.
Get up here with the Cowboys and you playing that trumpet that old boy play. You know the national anthem. You do that, Law. I'm here for it.
But you know what? Before I let you go, D, if I kid you not. You ever seen the Hodge twins?
Mm-hmm.
They on YouTube. They was on YouTube many years ago. But those boys, if my brother was living in Texas, we would literally do a video together, man. Me and my Cowboys gear and him and his 49ers gear, and we would react, man.
Yeah.
I bet you we would go viral, you know.
Man, y'all do those old school Cowboys games and then lead them into that, just the rivalry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Law.
Shoot, to this day we talking about. We've been talking about. Look, Prime Time did PI my guy Michael Irvin. To this day, we almost get into fist fights about that.
Yeah, man. I'm just saying, like the Mike Irvin days and the Prime Time. That's you, Law. So.
No doubt.
Yeah, man. But I'm gonna let you go, man. Let other people get in. But just something for your mind, bro. Have a good night, bro.
You too, man. Appreciate you, man. I know it's late where y'all. It is literally 7:00 where I'm at, so it's still early. So from the 9:03, you're live.
Hey, Law.
What's going on?
It's Theo. I was just calling in. I caught your earlier videos. I was wondering. Who is going to make the receiving core? Like, who do you think is going to make the receiving core? Is there anyone you would trade for? I was watching the Raiders game last night, and I was noticing that Keelan Cole, who was the number 3, number 4 wide receiver in Jacksonville last year, is like the number 5 or number 6 for the Raiders. So I threw out to a friend of mine who's a Raiders fan. I was like, hey, would you take like a 6th for Keelan Cole? And he's like, hell yeah, I would, because he's like literally 5th on our roster at this moment. And if he can give me a 5th for someone like that, I was like, well, that would be good for us, because he could easily slot in that 3 to 5 spot where needed. So I was just wondering if there's anyone that you're really looking at that way. And then how confident are you in our backup guys on the O-line? And then I'll drop off and listen from there.
No doubt. Good conversation from him on those reasonings there. Hey, the Raiders team looked fast last night, did they? It looked like they was in shape, and I liked the way they started to finish. But far as the wide receivers, this is an open resume for all of them. And this is an open resume for all of the 31 other teams. So, yeah, I will be diving deep into the preseason games, scouting, and then banging on the table like we should look at this guy or that guy. But for right now, we haven't seen any of our guys versus unknown opponents. So this next week, the practices with the Denver Broncos. I can't wait to see that, and also the preseason game. I can't wait to see that, to see if these guys got anything that it takes to go up against other opponents, because they going. Let's be real; these guys still not going 100% at each other. And as far as the offensive line, great points right there. My biggest reservations on this offensive line is the swing tackle. I hate the fact that this team, we still got a big hole on this offensive line. If Tyron Smith goes down, and now we're going to have to move Tyler Smith at that left tackle, but I still want Tyler Smith to just learn all what he can at guard, and we can only hope that Josh Ball can stand tall and stay up. But this still is the area of the unknown. But my reservation is still on that. And my offensive line acumen of like all of the other teams that's out there is so shallow and thin that I don't know who will be good for right now. That's the honest talk to you guys. I don't know who will be a person that we could pull the trigger on to bring in or use draft capital. All I can say is, for right now, we just have to wait. In preseason game, I don't want to see Tyron Smith out there. I want to see these guys like Josh Ball and all of the other boys that we have in the mix. Matt Farniok and even number 66, Connor McGovern again. I want to see all of those guys. But good question there, though, fam. Appreciate you from the 903. He's a good call, man. All right, so I got my guy Darius, man, from the 214. You live.
What's up, Law, man? And I had just tuned in to you, and is that wind blowing pretty hard?
Nah, you good, man. You shoot. It's better than all of my audio when I was outside.
Okay. But nah, man, I had tuned in to you and Mark Holmes, and like seeing y'all two together, it's almost like like if you had like an auntie or a mama, and you and your like long lost cousin. And they want you to be close to your long lost cousin. Like I get that feeling, like how a mama would feel just seeing y'all two together doing y'all thing. I'm just like, damn, man, Mark Holmes and my dog Law Nation, man, that was beautiful, man. Man, y'all over there having Taco Tuesday with the margaritas, man. Like how is it out there?
It's wonderful, man. And I envision, the collections over here by Oxnard. It's like right down the street from the practice spot. And it's just a wide, like everybody's kind of like mellow. It's like there's not like a lot of rowdy people in Oxnard. It's kind of like everybody like mellow. I guess that's how Californians are outside of when you're down there in L.A. Everybody kind of like chill. Man, me and Mark, man, we going to bring some energy, But I envision, like, after every practice, next year, we just do that thing all the way up, kind of like what ESPN do or any of those NFL networks, and give back to the people, And we would have open Q&A. We would have – of course, we just had our cell phones. But what if we rev it up a little bit and get some production out there? Whereas the internet's okay, spotty, but all throughout Oxnard, everybody's internet is kind of spotty. It's kind of weird. Oxnard is like a small city that's just now growing, so there's not a lot of cell phone towers. There's no connection out there that's worth anything. But I want us to do that on an upper scale. If you look at the video that you're seeing now on my page, I did all of that from a cell phone. Go ahead. I did all of this from a cell phone.
Oh,
fam.
wow.
So
what phone you got? You got an iPhone?
Man, I got the iPhone, baby. So all this is from a cell phone. I'm literally got a stick in my hand, people walking up. I'm recording, got my shades on, my hoodie on. You know what I'm saying? Got the earpiece in. I'm like FBI law over here, CIA law with the cell phone. And that's what the power of a cell phone, but it's a trick to it. You just can't just hit your cell phone. You got to go into settings and stuff to get it this wet. But I promise you, I would love to do this live, but when I go live, it's so grainy. People start talking about the levels of production, and I'm all about quality over quantity. So I sacrifice my time. I sacrifice my time to give you guys the pure look versus the grainy look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just overall, like I definitely appreciate that, man. Just the level of time and like care that you put in this channel, man. You can tell like you really doing your thing, man. I'm super proud of what you got going on and just the effort that you put into this shit, man. Like it's real. You could tell. You know what I'm saying? So
it's
I definitely
16-hour days, man. It's I put in over 16 hours a day, man, pumping out
that's
quality
inspirational
content.
Right there. That's
Yes,
inspirational
indeed,
right there, man.
Yes, indeed, man. I try to give you guys the best, man. I promise you. I promise you. Go ahead. You good?
My bad. But no, as far as like with this team, man, I never I heard you and Boss Cowboy and Big Game James. I always talk about going out there to Oxnard and seeing for yourself in the whole nine. And I didn't realize how big of a effect that really has. Like you being out there was like really an asset to the Cowboys. Like from a real fan perspective, like you get to actually go out there and you looking at it yourself, and you not just relying on other people, what other people saying that oh he balling out. You putting your own eyes and you seeing the standout dude to you is this guy named Dennis Houston. Yeah. Bro, I said Dennis Houston like 50 times at least for the past week. You know what I'm saying? And so like that was like I didn't realize how big of an asset that was, but outside of that, like it's looking like from your view, it's looking like that that defense is gonna be vicious, and it's sad to say that it's gonna be more of the same with the offense. I don't want to say that,
right?
But from what I'm hearing, it's sounding like that's kind of what is leaning towards. You know what I mean? Am I hearing right. Like how do you feel about that?
The defense is a little bit ahead of the offense, and primarily, I will have to give kudos to the coaching staff on the defense. If I had a choice to pick coaching staff, like in a fight battle, give me all of the coaches on the defensive side versus the coaches on the offensive side. If you look at see the dude look like T-Pain right there. Let me rewind a little bit.
Yeah, with the dreads.
Yeah, dreads. That dude, he works those boys. Those defensive line guys.
You can tell, man.
I got tape where the dude that look like T-Pain, he's really all in on bettering Kellen Moore and bettering Osa. He's all in on teaching these boys the right and proper technique where to be at. And then when you think of Al Harris, oh my gosh, man, he's all in, holding these DBs accountable in that room, and he's banging on the table saying you got to do this, you got to do that better, and he's all in on working out all of these guys, man. So I love it, man, and the defensive coaches are so hands on, man, versus the offense, and I think that we as fans we can see some of that. Just like, let me show you. Yep. Nobody got this footage yet. I'm still working on it. It's grainy because it haven't been rendered yet. But if you look at it, watch T-Pain, man. I don't know his name. I just that joker look. I'm gonna buy you a drink. That big god dog, man. I said T-Pain, man. I mean that dude. He works hours with Osa, man, and not just there. He worked hours and hours and hours with the other defensive guys. This is after practice, by the way. This is him putting in work after practice, fam. And I love this, man, and I love the defense, man. They just doing extra, bro.
Okay, so overall, like all in all, it sounds like that's what it's looking like. The defense is outworking the offense, and okay, and that just what I'm saying. Hopefully, Kellen Moore, not doing some of the same stale plays, but yeah, man, that's pretty much it, man. We appreciate all the effort that you put in, man. Keep doing your thing, man.
Man, I appreciate you, fam. From the 214, man. I hope that you guys ain't taking this like I'm talking about badly about the offense, but I'm just calling what I see. I could be a million % wrong on all of this, right? I could be so off kilter that the offensive guys saying, man, come on, Law, you don't know what we do, man. We do this in the back, man. Come on, man. You just don't see us, man. But then it's Houston. He makes it his business to put in extra time. But let's listen to my guy, man, from the landlord. Man, what's good?
What's going on with you, Law?
Nothing to it, fam. Chilling, fam.
Chilling, man. I heard them discouraging words from Kellen Moore, man. You still growing at this point, man.
Yeah,
it's gonna be rough.
Growing, man. You can't help it.
Hey,
you can't help it.
Yeah, I just hate they gave this Lamborghini to a bumper car driver, man. Like we should have got somebody who was, more equipped to handle this thing, man. But far as them being tougher, man, it's two kinds of people in this world. It's fish and it's sharks. Like which one you want to be? They're gonna have to man up and get it, man. I'm looking at the 49ers game over right now for some reason. I got a little spare time, and I'm getting angry and angrier. I don't know why. But
now, let me ask you this. Are you more upset about the success drives that we had and that we shied away from it, or are you more success by the missing opportunities? I want to know. I want to know what type of mentality you
I'm
got.
upset about how long it took us to get started.
There you go.
Because the game got away from us, man. And the way the 49ers operate, they play like us in 2016. That's what they play like, with a better scheme.
Yeah.
Jason Garrett just going to run the ball down your throat. Like, he ain't going to have too many complex schemes. He just going to – you remember how he used to get down. Like, he say, we better, and we just going to run.
Right.
See, Shanahan got a complex, masterful-ass scheme. You got to give it to him.
He got to give it to him.
That's what's frustrating. When you let us get out of the game, they going to run the ball down your throat. It's going to be hard. It's going to be super hard to get back into the game. They just running the ball. You know what I'm saying? The time's just ticking. Now the clock and the team is your enemy. That's what took us by storm, man. We're a high explosive team, but you can't be explosive if you ain't got the ball.
Surely
that's the problem.
In dog,
and we've been having these slow starts, man.
Ooh, keep going. Cause slow starts.
Yeah, these slow starts by Kellen, man. It's just very frustrating. And at this point in his career, I know he's still young, but you give him a little leeway, but that ain't really our problem. I feel like we shouldn't have to deal with his youth and him learning. We should just got a better player. And like he's saying, he's trying to learn how to incorporate a scheme to feature one headliner type wide receiver. Like, what is Mike McCarthy doing? Like, sir, you're an offensive guru, a quarterback whisperer. You work with some of the greatest. You can't implement your little say-so into his game plan and spice it up a little bit? Like, you can't help him where you see him struggling at? I don't know what's the problem right now.
You preaching now, fam. That's the biggest mystery. Like, I had multiple people tell me about the Mike McCarthy and the differences. I seen people like today. I got a chance to talk to a guy who said he's been out there since Parcells, out there in Oxnard. He works for the Cowboys out there in Oxnard capacity, and he said every year it changed. Every year, Parcells was not a personal person. He was all business. And they ran things differently. And, of course, the NFL, he's the guy that gave me all of the information on the NFL. But he's right. He's right. We missing out on that type of mindset. But we can't get it from Mike McCarthy because of the Jones factor.
Yeah. I think Jared got him by the curlies.
Yeah.
Because the one thing I do want to say, I don't want to talk up everybody's time, man, but I think at first I thought it was a good thing, but it's proven to be a bad thing that Kellen and Dak are so cool, man. That's really not a good idea. Now I'm starting to see the light. I thought it was going to be cool that you can work with your homeboy and you can get it done after hours and y'all be on the same page, but think about the complexity of the situation when it's not working right. Now you got to tell your homeboy, I really don't like this play. Now you got to go down with the ship.
Landlord,
that's what's going on.
You big on movies? You big on movies?
Yeah.
Dark Knight. You remember that movie, Batman? You know, when he had
That's
to fight
one of my
Bane?
favorite movies.
What was his problem when Bane threw him into prison and he had to get out of there? What he had to get rid of in order to get out of there?
Not Dark. Nah, I'm thinking about the one with the Joker. I ain't too well versed on the one with Bane. I know that was great too, but
that was great.
Well, he had to get out of the darkness or something, right?
Yeah, he had to get out of there. He had to climb up out of that tunnel, but he had to get rid of the rope. You see, the rope.
Oh yeah.
See, people looked at the rope as it was gonna save you if you don't make that jump, right? In the case if you don't miss, but the rope was really the mental part of pulling you down. You see, the Cowboys rope is actually been Jason Garrett for, hear me out, Jason Garrett for Tony Romo, and now the Cowboys rope is Kellen Moore for Dak. You can't, there's no growth and comfort, man. You got to get rid of the things that you think that will make you comfortable. You got to get rid of the things that secure you. You got to get rid of all of your fears.
Them facts right there, man. I don't want to take up everybody's time, man. You doing great shows, man. You know, I aspire to be out there with y'all next year, man. I gotta make some shape out there, you know.
hey, we will have the post practice at the Red Robin. We're going to turn that Red Robin into a Blue Robin, man. I can't wait to see you out there next year, Dan.
Oh, yeah.
All right, bro. Appreciate you, fam. This landlord, man, y'all check out his YouTube channel, man. Growing crazy, man. Crazy channel. But you guys get what I'm saying, that I'm not literally pointing fingers. I'm not pointing the blame. But sometimes people are so want to be secure with things in life that they find out that they're a 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 13-year-old riding the bike still with the training wheels, right? Or they driving the car and they 25, 30-year-old don't know how to drive a stick shift, right? Can't pull a car up a hill because they so used to having things made out for them, right? There's some people that's 25, 30 years old still staying at the house with mama, right? Scared to go out and live on their own, right? Scared to fail, right? You got to be able to release that fear. It's scary, but if you get out there and make it happen without all of the securities, then baby, you will grow. And the Cowboys been coddling certain ways, and I'm just trying to keep it real for you guys. Blue Virus, you know what I'm talking about, fam. Let this caller in. Last but not least, man, you guys know when you hear his voice, man, he is the coach Barr from the 803. You're live.
What's going on, Law, man? Listen, man, this is a great show, man. I'm glad you're talking about the system because your boy on the other channel, Boss Cowboy, talks about the same thing. So y'all really putting it out there about this system thing.
Oh yeah,
it's so much to unpack with this system thing. But listen, the thing that I'm concerned about, and I'm going to get to the system, but the thing that I'm concerned about, I've been watching all the interviews of the coaches.
Oh yeah.
And I watched the defensive coordinator Quinn.
Yeah.
And his talk, and I can get a direction of what he's talking about. Fast, physical, using guys in different packages, use them to their best abilities. I listened to Al Harris talk. I listened to Joe Witt talk. I listened to every one of the defensive coaches that talk. And then I listened to the offensive coaches. And I got a sense of we trying to get there. We just got to work some kinks out. Nothing about the physical play and to being a dominant football team. But I learned something, Law, doing all my coaching and playing things. When it comes down to when you get a team there's only one mantra for a team. And the mantra for my teams was one goal, one mentality, one tempo.
Okay.
That's offense, defense, and special teams.
Okay.
And in this team, I don't see, they may have one goal, but it's not the same mentality, and it's definitely not the same tempo.
Ooh. Yeah.
So you're going to have a discord there when you don't have one thing. And I want the fans to understand that only shows up in the most stressful, biggest times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they tell you, Lord, this analogy, they tell you if you want to find out if your car running real well, wait till you turn the air conditioner on. Because the air conditioner stresses the engine more than anything else.
Oh, yeah, it does.
And if you got a problem in your car, it'll show you once you turn that air conditioner on and run it for all day riding around town.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So when we get in stressful situations, this is where we see. Mm-hmm. But this goes back to what I said on the final word, and I love that show, man. I'm glad I was on, but it goes back to what I was saying.
Yeah.
I don't. If Kellen Moore was standing in that room and he's talking offense, do you really believe in the direction that he's taking you? If you a star player?
Nah, man.
I know Michael Parsons doesn't believe where he's taking him. Where Quinn's taking him. I know. Diggs believe where Dan Quinn is taking him.
Yeah.
You can see they say the same things that he says. But if you don't believe in the philosophy and where he's taking you, you're going to have a harder time to get the performance in the toughest situations.
You're right.
And, Lord, we talked about believe and know.
Right.
Keller talks about, everything he talked about was the passing game.
Right.
But what do we know? We know the Cowboys are 52-14 and since 2016 when they run the ball 30 times. We know the Cowboys are 30-0 when they run more than they pass. We know that they were 9-0 last year when they ran the ball 30 times. We know these things.
Yeah. Man,
but
Coach.
If we and I'm gonna say this last thing.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in this world is working. Love analytics. Analytics has taken over. But if the analytics are pointing in one direction totally for the history of this Cowboy team, I'm not just talking about now. The Cowboys have never played in a championship game, never played in the NFC championship game, a Super Bowl, won or lost, without being in top 10 defense and a top 5 rushing team in their history. So all the analytics tells you from the past to the present that the physical style of offense is the best philosophy to make Hall of Fame quarterbacks in Dallas, the Starbacks, the Aikmans, right? Tony Romo's best year when he was almost MVP. Dak Prescott, he was the third MVP when we ran the ball. If the history of football of the Cowboy organization tells you that, and the current analytics tells you that why in the world you don't go with it? If analytics is your thing, we brought McCarthy in. He said he was more into the analytics. This is what the analytics are telling you.
Mike Picard is just trying to get
but
that
we
job.
got a person that don't believe that the analytics is correct.
Or you got a person that don't know. Because see, if he know these things.
He don't know.
Ooh.
But let's see it.
If he know
either he don't know, he don't show, or he don't care about how the Cowboys win. He cares about what he wants. And this interview that he had today is not a good look for the Cowboys offense. It's not a good look for the confidence instilled in the dogs. of this offense, and it's not a very good look for his head coaching opportunities if he wants them.
Oh my gosh!
And that's the facts. As the man said, that's the facts, Jack. That's the facts, Jack.
Coach,
the
coach,
analysts say we 52-14.
Do you remember? Do you remember the year when Jimmy said we will win the Super Bowl if my guys are happy? I know we will win it. He didn't say he believed. He knew that he was going to win it. He said it before the season even kicked off because he knew that, hey, I got this player, I got that player, and the caliber of coach that I am. You know, and I hate to just keep bringing up the 90s or what have you guys, but these are things that we're trying to tell you from a mindset, a mentality. But when you go into a game, Coach, it doesn't matter if you crafting up. Can you break down what I was saying? If I craft up a play for Shaq to shoot the three and he keep missing, is that Shaq's fault or my fault?
That's your fault.
That's what I'm talking about.
You did. Let me tell you why. And Dan Quinn explained it best in every interview he said.
Yeah.
He evaluates a player to see what they do well, and he has them do that over and over and over again. That's what you do.
Yeah.
You take your talented players and you find out what they do well, and that's why I say good players can't take bad coaching. You can have a great player, you put him in the wrong situation, you make him look mediocre.
Yeah.
And then you blame the player. Duh. I mean, how you blame the player? If you put him in the best situation for him to perform. But this is the caveat, Law. If a player doesn't believe that you're putting him in the best situation to perform, i.e. Cooper, and you see the frustration in i.e. Lamb because he was Cooper's best friend and don't think he had talked to Cooper and just feeling the frustration of this going the same way it went last year. You can see that frustration in training camp. Watch for that, Law. Watch for that frustration.
I'm definitely gonna look into all of that. I'm definitely will.
They would turn their back on you, and nothing you do will go well. And I say this last thing: Jimmy changed his offensive coordinator back before they won the Super Bowl.
Big facts, Coach.
Because he won an offensive coordinator in Norv Turner, right?
Yeah.
That had the philosophy to do what he knew his players did well. They was a physical team. They had one goal, one mentality, and one tempo throughout the team. And it was physical, offensively and defensively.
Man, Coach.
And you win that way. You will be better in the biggest moments if you're all on the same page, all 50, all phases. But I see a discord, and it's a travesty when you say it's two different teams on that field out there.
It is.
But Denver scrimmage will show it, because those guys in Denver don't give a hoot about the Cowboy players and all their fanfare. They coming at them like lions.
No doubt,
and if they go in there and be powder puffed and soft, they're going to get embarrassed again by a team that embarrassed them during the regular season.
No doubt, Coach. You spitting at us, man.
And maybe that might be needed. But, Law, keep preaching, doing what you're doing, man. Cowboy Nation, we just trying to straighten things out now. Yeah. We just try to decipher. But doing these things, Law and the other shows, they're going to, after a while, before the season starts, they're going to probably find out there's going to be measures to our success that the Cowboys must do, and we'll be able to see and we'll be able to point out when we don't do those certain things and we don't come up successful, you'll be able to see why.
Yeah. My goodness, man. That's good Coach Marv right there, man. Round of applause to Coach Marv, always bringing the heat. Thank you, Coach. Thank you for calling in. That's a good call from him. All right, let's 501.
The conference has been locked.
501, make it quick. You're live. I seen you up in here, so I'm going to let you get in. You're here. You're live.
Hello?
Yes, what's good? Talk to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Sir, the problem is with the tight end position. Kellen Moore is really predictable for the tight end. The problem with Zeke running the ball is that he wants to put Jeremy Sprinkle in only when he's going to run the ball. Those other tight ends, Dalton Schultz and all them other tight ends, they're just pass-touch tight ends. Usually when Zeke get tackled, like when he was at the 5-yard line, when he got tackled, it was that man coming off the tight end position.
Oh.
That they can't block. Then they're predictable because you put they got Jeremy Sprinkle just for blocking. He gets in the game just for blocking. Them other guys, they want to play the glamorous position like a wide receiver. If that continues, they're not going to win.
You know what you did? You brought something to my attention. What I'm going to have to do, because unfortunately I haven't really dived that deep into it, because one time before I did, but I'm going to look at that. Which game you want me to look at? All of it?
If you look back at the film, he catered to those white tight ends that want to catch passes. They're not blocking tight ends. The last blocking tight end was Jason Witt. They could do both. They can be in the game in both. So that's stereotyping the position. And that's what he's done the last 3 or 4 years.
No doubt. I'm gonna go look into that though. I appreciate.
Look at those films when Zeke got tackled like the 5-yard line. He couldn't get out the backfield because the man coming from that left side wasn't blocked, and that was that dog Shelton out there. They can't block. That's why they keep Jeremy Sprinkle out of Arkansas. They keep him on the roster. They carry 3 or 4 tight ends for a while. 2 of them was injured. One of them, as they came back off the injury list, they got worse and worse because he was incorporating those other 2, 3 tight ends. Whereas Jeremy Sprinkle was when he was a second tight end, they was running the ball better. But when them other guys came back off the injury list, they kept trying to get them on the field, and they couldn't run the ball. That's the problem. And that's Kellen Moore. And that's him. That's the discrepancy right there. He doesn't have the tight end that multiple that you can put in there, and they can block and catch.
No doubt.
Therefore, the defense can focus on one tight end.
All right, I'm gonna take a look into that, man. I appreciate you so much. What's your name, by the way, from the 501?
Mike,
appreciate you, Mike. Thank you so much. Big Cowboys fan.
Okay,
appreciate
thank you
Mike.
for taking my call.
Appreciate you, man. I got to go do my homework on.
Goodbye.
On most of that. I appreciate everybody for tuning in to this, but I get the predictability part of it, right? I don't think that it's anything dealing with the hue of skin or the hue of the color or the color of the actual people. But Sean McEwen is a hell of a blocker. I can stand tall on that. I actually did some of his reviews, and I saw Sean McEwen blocking. But one thing that I got to do before I say that this guy's out of his mind, I got to go back and review all of the red zone opportunities and see when they bring in Jeremy Sprinkle. I really think that the Cowboys do at times get predictable. I remember one year that when you seen Noah Brown get into the system, you like, okay, they finna run, y'all. Noah Brown, 85 is out there. They finna run. But I would tell you guys that this team, if they really want to get things going in the best way possible, they're going to have to figure it out. The 419, I appreciate you for trying to call in, but, the phone line's really off, I had to turn it off, and we're going to get ready to bounce up out of here. I really appreciate each and every last one of you all so much for tuning in and for this episode. Shout out to Cowboys Experience. Speaking of Cowboys Experience, listen.
Let the Cowboys Experience introduce you to a whole new way to enjoy a Cowboys football weekend. Experience the ultimate Cowboys player and fan event at Toyota Music Factory on the Texas Lottery Plaza, making lasting memories by booking at cowboysexperience.com today.
817-888-1726. Cowboys Experience. We will have, dare I say, some beautiful events this year. I can't wait to see y'all beautiful faces out there live at the locations that we will announce shortly. And just tune in, dial in, because we need you guys. We need you guys. And we want you guys to be out there to these events or at these events, especially the home opener. We got to be live. We got to be live. We got to be lit. We got to be ready. And on top of that, we got to see you guys out there for the Bengals game week 2. So I want us to start off 2-0. I want us to use that momentum to carry us all the way through the season and all the way out. So let's get this thing going the best way possible. Cowboy Nation, I tell people all the time, just focus in, concentrate, master one thing at a time. Don't try to master everything, Cowboy Nation, because that gets you in trouble. That's why I said even Tyler Smith, he must figure out, hey, I'm a guard right now. Next season, if y'all need me to tackle, I can tackle that. But for right now, I'm the guard, right? And just like anybody else on this team, if you want it bad enough to go out there and get it, you got to make sure that now, next week, we can talk about soft this, soft that. You be on the soft couch, right? If you drop the ball, if you miss your assignment, if you miss your reads, come on. Right? There's no, absolutely zero growth with comfort. Right? Absolute. Sometimes just as a human over here, I go back and I say to myself, I'm going to sleep on the floor. I'm getting too comfortable in my own bed. I know what it feels like sleeping out of a car. I know I've been there before. Sometimes I take my humility with dignity. I promise you guys. I say, God, I know I'm going to borrow time with this. I make sure. So there's no comfort. There's no comfort in success. There's no comfort. You got to figure out a way to get out of that comfort zone. Sleep on the other side of the bed. Sleep on the floor if you have to, right? Try to learn a new language, do something to get out of the element, because the moment you feeling too comfortable, the moment you relax, right? That's when the growth stops. Get out of that comfortability. And this, my friend, Cowboy Nation, I'm not saying that it's the end of the world because we got Kellen Moore. We don't know what he's doing. He could be studying and going over everything line by line, right? You learn more from your failures than your success. He could be rewinding all of the videos that he done messed up on last year as it relates to calling plays. He could be diving deep into it, right? Going into his 4th year, he could be saying, okay, now it's time for me to graduate. Now it's time for me to stand tall with this offense. So we got to give the man the benefit of the doubt. We got to believe. We got to believe right now. We don't know. Other coaches out there, we already know what they're going to do because they've been there before. They had time, experience, right? They can't use youth. They can't use youth and inexperience as a vice right now, right? And those other guys, they can't use that, right? There's so many excuses that you can give to a baby on why they messed themselves, right? But as they get a little older, you're going to be like, look, you too grown for that. And think about this. Even when you are sitting in your own mess, there's a time that even the baby say, you know what? I'm going to pour this up off of me. I'm going to go to the restroom because I'm tired of smelling like what I smell like. Let me know if I'm lying. So if the Cowboys been sitting in this mess for all of these years, it's time for them to take it off and go to the restroom. Come on, baby. Write this down if you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it. if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired of it, and it makes you hold all of the things tawdry and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you'll gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, plan for it, and work over 16 hours for it. Yeah, 16 hours. If dogged and grim and besieged and besetted with the help of almighty Cowboy Nation, you will get it. You guys think I'm sitting here? Truly, truth be told, I don't work a day in my life because this is all passion, right? Right? Come on, Cowboy Nation, let's go. Appreciate you, Cowboy Sports Report by Charles and Charge. Appreciate you. Shout out to everybody that's watching this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. Let's go, baby. We about. Yep. Turn me up, baby. Blow those eardrums away, baby. Come on.
Spartan! What is your profession?
Another one.
Spartan! What is your profession?
Another one.
When you pray for rain, you gotta deal with the mud too.
You must be out of your goddamn mind!
Come on, baby.
Stop the cow.
Suck. This is Sparta!
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Nope. Well, what I'm saying is that there are known knowns and that there are known unknowns. But there's also unknown unknowns. Things we don't know that we don't know.
Execute Order 66.
You won't break my soul.
Enemy spotted.
What the dog doing?
Stupid. Spartan! What is your profession?
Nobody coming to see you, Otis.
Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Look at this. Somebody come and look at this.
Let me see some fire emojis in the chat, baby. See some fire up in there, baby. Come on. I ain't leaving till I see all fires up in there. Let me see some fires up in there, baby. I know. Open up, FBI.
FBI, open up!
Oh, you think darkness is your ally?
Come on.
Emotional!
Come on, baby.
Spartan! What is your profession?
Let's go. Come on. Let's get it. Yeah. 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 Come on. There we go. Hold it. Hold it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Spartan! What is your profession?
Yeah, baby. Come on. Let's get it. DC for life. Like, share, comment, baby.